Hello everyone, Habibi here. I'm back again in this tutorial about how to create a train system in Unity. On my previous video about this topic, I have created this locomotive and this target points. The locomotive will go to this target point or destination point, but if I duplicate the destination points this much, the locomotive cannot go to the next destinations. The locomotion only goes towards this first target or destination points. I want the locomotive, after it reached the first destination, it should automatically goes toward the second destination. How to make it happen? That's why I make this video. Let's get started by editing this locomotive script. Let me open it. Because I defined the destination game object here publicly, and I set the destination to be like this, it only goes toward this one single destination point. What if I want the locomotive to go to the all destination points? The answer is we need to forget about this public game object variable. Let me delete it. Let me delete this public game object variable, and instead I'm going to create a sensor for this locomotive. We can see an error here because I have deleted the public variable here, and let's just comment the line number 23 here. Let me just comment everything here inside this update block. This way, and let's create the sensor for our locomotive. The sensor is obviously just another cube. I will create a cube as a child of this locomotive object, and I name it sensor or destination sensor. And I bring it this way. And let me scale it this way. And I will set its visibility to be hidden by unchecking the mesh renderer here. Okay, and then I will add a rigid body to this destination sensor. I can just, let me add rigid body. Then I have to set it as kinematic. The next step is to modify this destination point. Let me delete the rest destination points here. Let me work on this one destination point first. I need to remove the box collider. No, don't remove it. I need to check it as trigger. Set it as is trigger. So this is a trigger, and I have to add a tag to it. I will create a tag, add tag. I name it train destination. And here the destination sensor, I will create a script, another script. I call it destination sensor, and I attach the script to the destination sensor object. Let's edit the script. Let's find out on Google about Unity on trigger, enter. Open the first result, which is official documentation of Unity, and we use this private void on trigger, enter. Let's copy this part, paste it here, and here we are going to do if statement. If other.tag equals to destination, what was the tag? Let me check again. Let me just name it destination point. Okay, the tag. Oh, I forgot to apply the tag. Let me apply this tag, train destination. Here type train destination, and as usual for testing purpose, here inside this if statement I will debug that log this text, destination point detected, and then we will do the opposite thing. On trigger exit, we type destination point undetected. Okay, let's test the scene by clicking this play button, and let me switch to scene editor. This is our locomotive sensor, and here is the console. I will move this destination point and place it here, and it says destination point detected. Now what I'm going to do is, whenever this destination point is detected, I want this train to detect the position of this destination point, and then the train should move, the locomotive should move toward that destination point. To do so, I need to edit this destination sensor.cs, and I will create a public game object variable, public game object detected destination, and this detected destination I will assign its value here when the sensor detect the collision object, which is this one, other. So detected destination here will be equals to other dot game object, and then I need to detect what is the detect the destination from this script, from the locomotive script. Here I will create a game object variable. I call it next destination. Next destination should be sensor dot get component what was the script? Destination sensor dot this variable detected destination. But we need to add this public game object variable. We need to add public game object variable sensor, or let's say train sensor, and I replace it with train sensor. And here inside Unity, the locomotive, let me check. Okay, line 21, locomotive CS 21, it should be capital G. Let me check again. Okay, now locomotive has this train sensor here, and I need to place this train destination sensor here. And for being organized, let me use this name as variable here. Yeah, destination sensor, but with lowercase d. Destination sensor and here instead of using train sensor, I'll use this word destination sensor. And let me go back to Unity. Okay, and let me place it again here. Detected destination sensor. Sorry, this should be destination sensor with lowercase d. Hang on, destination sensor should be this game object. And let me try to test it. Click this play button. Because the sensor did not detect any destination object, because the destination object is outside this sensor. Let me bring it closer and see what will happen here on the console. Okay, destination point detected, that one. And now it did not move. Yes, it did not move because I still did not uncomment this this comment. I did not remove this comment mark. The next thing I'm going to do is to set the destination. I will change this destination to this next destination. But with a condition. What is the condition? The condition is if next destination is detected. There is something I need to do with this if statement. I need to find out how to detect if the game object variable is exists or not. So I will find from Google about how to detect if game object is exists in Unity. Maybe we can use this not null. If next destination not null, then move the train to that destination. Let's check is everything okay or not. Okay, we did not see any error and it goes to this destination, but the train is moving. Let me try again. Yeah, the train is moving even it did not detect this destination. Let me move this line of code to this update function and let's try it again. Hit play button. Okay. The train is moving toward this destination, but the train is moving even it did not detect. So this is working, but this yeah, the orientation of the locomotive is working, but the movement is not working. The locomotive is still moving even it did not detect the destination. I need to check the value of this next destination here. Maybe I can console dot log this next destination object and play it here. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean debug dot log destination sensor object. Let me comment this line. I don't need it. I don't want it to move for this time. I just want to see the debug console. Destination sensor, and let me move it near the locomotive. Okay, destination point detected, undetected. Okay guys, I know the problem, what the problem is. Let me delete this line, and let's go to the destination sensor.cs script. Here initially we need to set the value of this detected destination as null. By default the value should be null, and if the sensor detects this collider object, it should set the value of detected destination as this other.game object. And if the trigger is outside the sensor, we set its value again to be null, this way. Now if I go back to Unity and click the play button, the locomotive will not look at this destination point unless it is detected. Now it is detected. If I move it slowly, the train is facing towards this destination object. But if I suddenly move it away, the train is not facing towards this point again. Now the movement should be working correctly. I uncomment this line and then try to run it again. Click this play button, and I will move this destination point toward nearby the locomotive. It will move. It somehow works this way. Okay, I can see a strange movement of the locomotive, and I think I can fix it by freezing its rotation on any axis except the y-axis. So here I will freeze the rotation of x and z, and let me try to see it. Will it happen again or not? I place it here. Okay, nice. Alright, that is for this problem. And for the next thing the next problem that we need to solve is, I want the locomotive to not follow I want the locomotive to not to move. I don't know how to say it. I want the locomotive to ignore this destination point when it reach the when it arrives at this destination, and instead it should go to the next destination. Let's see what if I place this next destination point here, and let me enable the destination sensor so I can see it. Okay, I will place it here and the next one here. Let me see, will it work or not? Click play button, and it stopped. What if, okay, it stopped here. What if I place it here? It stopped when the previous destination is outside the sensor. So in this case, I think we don't need to set it to null here. If we don't set it to null here on the on trigger exit, I hope this locomotive can follow this destination one by one. Let's try. Click the play button. It is moving here and here and then here, and it stopped. It should stop. Okay, it did not stop. Alright, because the train will move whenever it detects the destination points. Okay, let me duplicate again this destination point. Let's see if the train can reach the first destination and it can go again from the start destination, from the yeah, it is moving this way. I am trying to make a loop for the train. As you can see, the train will move towards any new destination point that is detected by the sensor. Let's see how it moves. Okay, it turns back because it did not detect any new destination here. So we need to place it closer so it can move continuously. Oops. What about this? Okay, I need another destination point here and here maybe. Yeah, let's see if the locomotive is uh, moving in loop like this. Okay, it will go back. Oh no, it continues the movement. I think it is nice, and the only thing next that we need to do is to adjust this sensor size. So let me uncheck this mesh renderer. It is so bright I cannot see, and I'm going to switch to top view. I will create a nice path for the train. It is here. let me see which one is the first destination point. Okay, and let me place the train like this. And let's see how it moves now. Okay, I did not change the size. Let me adjust the size of this sensor this way, and I place it okay. I need to place it here. Oh, it was duplicated. Okay, let me try to play it again and see how it moves. It is moving nicely, I think. Okay, because this turn is too sharp, the locomotive is out of the road, so we should not make the sharp turn. Instead, we can reposition them this way. Okay, I think that is the basic idea of mine about how to create a path for our locomotive to move in loop like this. And I think for the next video I will start to make a wagon object, the wagon objects that are basically following the locomotive object. And I think that's all for this video. Thank you for watching it, and I know it is so boring. I also feel so tired making this one. Alright, bye bye. See you next time. See you next time on my next videos.